It's time for Be in the Driver's Seat with Regina, the Queen of Car Loans, and mental health expert, Dr. Teresa Moore. A Saturday morning mix of cars, credit, and wellness created just for you. Brought to you by Joe Lunghamer Chevrolet of Waterford. Plan your next vehicle purchase or get your credit rolling in the right direction with Regina today. And now, Regina, the Queen of Car Loans, and Dr. Teresa Moore.
Good morning. You are listening to Be in the Driver's Seat, and I am your host, Regina, the Queen of Car Loans and Credit. And I'm sitting next to my favorite coach in the whole wide world. You know how we do what we do, Dr. T.
Good morning, everybody. It's Dr. T. Happy Saturday.
Happy Saturday. And we're going to do our introduction this morning. And all the way out of Atlanta, Georgia is who? Miss who?
Cathy Washington, your financial life coach. Good morning.
Wait a minute, Cathy said your financial life coach. You get it? You're not just a financial coach, she's a financial life coach. There's a difference, just so you know.
Good morning, Cathy.
Good morning, Cathy.
Good morning, Brenda.
And all the way out of Michigan, she's a Michigander, Brenda Denise Davis.
Good morning, Regina. You're so full of life. I'm so happy to be here.
And we're glad to have you. She is the realtor that moves you when you're looking to buy a property, lease a property, well, lease is car renting, or you're looking to buy your first home, your second home, your third home, you're looking to get that investment property. You know how we do. We do this every month, every second Saturday of the month. The team comes together. We gel together. You know why? Because God molded us together. Yes. What you got going on today, Dr. T? How you doing? How was your week? Well, how was your last week? How was your life last week?
Listen, I am doing absolutely well. I've had a wonderful last couple of weeks serving and doing things in the community. So today I am just glad to be here and be chilling.
Give one thing that you're thankful for today.
Okay, so I'm thankful that I have breath in my body.
Okay, amen. We do that every morning. So what's your second thing you're thankful?
I'm thankful that I have family and friends that love me.
Amen.
What are you thankful for, Regina?
You know, I'm thankful for family. I'm thankful for friends that have become family. And, last weekend we traveled to Chicago. Mm-hmm. And one of my college friends, she's like a sister to me, her husband, shout out to the Anderson family, mom passed away. Mm-hmm. And I watched him for a year and a half travel to see his mom once a month. And in Chicago, see him from Mission to Chicago driving. And, it was tough to see that because not only is he a father, he's a husband and he's a provider. Mm-hmm. To watch that was, it was... It's hard when your loved one died, but when it was your mom, it's a whole different, it's a whole different page.
You're absolutely right. I remember us just having a conversation a few weeks back when you were dealing with the anniversary of your mom's death.
Yeah.
So, that's tough. That's tough. But you know what? I'm glad that God is a comforter.
Yes,
so,
he is. Yes, he is.
I shout you all out. I love you, Anderson family, and may God's peace be upon you.
Okay, so we're gonna financial life coach Cathy Washington. What are you thankful for today?
I am thankful for family. I am thankful for being in my right mind. There's so much going on in the world today, and when you look back over your life, you just have to stop and say, Father, thank you for keeping me. You have been absolutely a keeper, and I'm thankful for that this morning.
Wow. You know what? I'm today is Thankful Saturday, so I just made this up right before we came on the air. Thankful Saturday, So, Brenda, you're next. Brenda Denise Davis, the realtor who moves you. What are you thankful for today?
So many things, Regina. It's just kind of hard to put it all into a category, but most certainly my family. And then secondly, I think I just thank God and praise Him for all the doors that He's opened for me, for all the people that He's put into my life to make things possible for me, and for most certainly, as Cathy said, just strengthening me and my family and my loved ones, period, from all that's going on in this world today. I'd like to give thanks for His shielding and protecting us.
Amen.
Amen, amen. You all didn't know you was going to have a little church this morning, even though it's Saturday morning, and we're on the Praise Network, but, we always got to give our thanks to God, our provider, and we always got to give him thanks. But we're going to go ahead and get this show started. But before we get this show started, I want to talk about this upcoming segment we got coming up. And actually, she's going to be on later on in the month, and actually, she is the daughter to Brenda Denise Davis. And I want to talk about that for a few minutes. So let's talk about that. So her name is, what's your daughter's name? Lachey
Cicely I'm sorry, no longer Davis, is McCather.
Yes.
And she's the glamorous rebel.
So I'm excited about that segment because, she's going to be sharing makeup tips, right, Dr. T?
Yeah, she'll be doing makeup tips. She's also I like to call them hair extraordinaires. So she can take your hair and do some magnificent things to it. So she'll be beating up the face and she'll be doing hair extraordinaire, glamour, if you will.
And the thing about it, you guys are probably saying, hey, how are you going to do that on the radio? Because you can share tips, things that you should be doing. And we're seasoned here, right? And Shay, I call her my baby sister, she is young and grinding. Mm-hmm. What's the word? Not young and grinding, but young and...
She grinding.
Yeah, she young. She brings the youngness to the show.
Yeah, and you know what, Regina, I love that because that's a fresh new set of eyes, ears, and they come with different things that we don't even think about. So it is amazing. I think about Shay and even like Sierra last week. She was saying stuff that I didn't even know she would say. So that's amazing. I appreciate the young entrepreneurs. So I'm thankful. I'm excited about the show.
She's awesome. Something that I had never heard of. I went in to see her on Friday, and she gave me a steam treatment. Mm-hmm. I said,
what's
well, it used to be treatment? Particularly with our hair, steam was not your friend, right? Whatever you had going on was gone if you were dealing with steam. But she gave me a steam treatment. It's supposed to enhance your hair, give you some body, take care of damaged ends and that kind of thing. But she's awesome. She's my hairstylist, so kudos to my baby.
Yeah, that's good. I just came out of braids, so I had a lot of damageness, so it's coming back together. So I appreciate the new techniques that's out, the steam treatments, and especially that silk press.
Mm-hmm. And so what we're looking to do, I'm sorry, Kathy, go ahead.
No, I was just agreeing. I definitely love they call it steam treatment, hydration. I love that. It's just that there's something about it that really makes the scalp feels wonderful. So to have someone, the expert, that can show you and take you through that experience, that's amazing. Looking forward to hearing those tips.
You know what, the great thing about it as far as the youngness, because, hopefully I'm putting the word out there on the radio because I already sent Dr. T a text over the weekend, so I don't know if she talked to her baby girl about it, but I wanted to I know she's doing different things of teaching people as far as do the cakes, but, I want Sierra to come on and do a segment once a month because, again, we need to get that youngness because the young people have all these great ideals. Mm-hmm. They bring things about that we don't think of, or they put a twist on it. It might be some things we all think about, but it's about putting that twist.
Yeah.
Flavor.
Yeah. I absolutely love that. So I'm excited to hear what Shay has to say, and also Sierra and any other young person that may come upon this platform. I'm excited for the newness that they bring. We have to be able to adapt to newness and not be so caught up in the old.
That's so true. Things are forever changing, aren't they? Yeah. And my mom used to say many, many years ago, there's nothing like youth. Yeah. And if she could bottle that, she'd be a millionaire, and 5 times over. And that's so true, Mm-hmm. But nowadays they are trying to bottle that. They have every kind of facial treatment that you can think of, and they can take the fat from your gut and lift up your butt. They can do everything now,
Come on, you heard it right here.
Right here. Driver's seat. Right. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna turn that segment to the youth to the season topic. The season topic with Lachey's mother. We're going to say that name more often, and we're going to start making sure we share our customer, our team, not our customer, our team who we deal with. We're going to be saying their name more on different segments, even if they're not on. It's because we don't want you to forget that they're on that once a month. And we just want you to keep hearing that name, because if you need their services, you need to reach out. So we're going to bring Brenda Denise Davis, the realtor who moves you. If you're looking for a car, I'm sorry, it's me looking for a car. If you're looking for a house, and you looking to what? You looking to purchase a house? You looking to get your first investment property? Or you looking to buy a second or third house in Michigan? Brenda Denise Realtor is a realtor who can help you. She's going to move you off your seat. And if you're looking to buy a house in another state and you have no contacts, she can hook you up with her relationship she has in another state. You know I was going to say that, did you?
I appreciate that. I thought you were going to forget me.
No. So what do we have going on in the real estate world today?
Well, in this world of real estate, Regina, it's forever changing, just like everything else, as we just spoke about. But today's topic is going to be the serious squeeze on renters. Now, you guys have heard me talk about the market, the real estate market in the past, and we've talked about the multiple offers that were being presented within a day or two of a home becoming available on the market. But because of the increase in interest rates, naturally that is slowing down. So the feds have increased the rates. They're almost 7% now, and that has done, in fact, what they wanted it to do, is to slow the market down. And with that, we're being faced with a larger number of renters, because some of those first-time home buyers are being completely squeezed out of the market. With that being said, as a result of the number of rental applications increasing, you have an increase in rents as well. And it's really quite interesting. I've always told my clients, Regina and Dr. T, that the same money that you're paying to rent a property, you could be a homeowner. And I still, even in spite of the fact that rates have increased, I'm an advocate for home ownership, because it does so many things for you. Rather than to giving someone else your money every month, you're paying yourself to live somewhere, and the equity in your house is increasing every year that you're there. And it's a great investment, one of the best investments that you could hope to have. But with that said, there are two reasons for the increase.
Sure.
I
I just want to say something real quick. I know that people don't understand. It's easier now than ever. Even though interest rates are going up, you can be a homeowner, and people think that it's just so easy to rent. Now, when you rent, people are taking you through these certain background checks, this, that, and other. They want to know so much about you,
right,
than ever before.
And that's very true, along with the fact that you're competing. Just like the buyers were competing in the home sales market, now renters are facing that same competition. So the investors who own these rental properties, they can kind of pick and choose. They're looking at credit scores. They're looking at your work history. They're looking at the number of family members, perhaps, that are going to be residing with you. Some of them are, in their lease applications, are saying that anyone that's residing in that home that's 18 years old, above and higher, all of them have to go through a credit check.
Oh, you know what? That's funny that they're doing that, because what happens is, I know in the past, because when I was a landlord, one person would rent the place, and you had 10 people in there. Okay, I'm exaggerating. Maybe 5. You have all these other people in there, and you don't know who's living there. So you got to hold everybody accountable. So I like that.
Well, with that, every landlord has a right to visit their property. They have to give due notice to the tenant, but you have a right to do your due diligence to make sure that your property is being kept up. With regards to the number of occupants in a home, most lease agreements have you list each name of every person that's going to live there. And if there is a violation of that, then perhaps you have some legal recourse, or you can correct that issue. But getting back to this squeeze that's being put on the renters, there are two reasons for it.
Hold on to that squeeze. hold on to that squeeze because we got to know you're right in the middle of your sentence because we got to take a break.
Okay.
Because Joe Lunghamer just called and he said, Regina, I need the commercial to run. I need Brenda's commercial to run, and I need the attorney,
Marilyn
Walker commercial to run. So we'll be right back with Brenda Denise Davis, the realtor who moves you.
My name is Marilyn Walker, and I am your advocate attorney. For over 25 years, I've helped your friends and neighbors by providing solid legal advice and strategy during difficult times. My clients will tell you that I am experienced, knowledgeable, caring, and reasonable. If divorce, custody, support, or visitation are critical issues facing you, stop worrying and call me, Marilyn Walker, the advocate attorney, at 248-332-2227. Allow a skillful lawyer to advocate for you.
Regina, the Queen of Carlones here with Joe Lunghamer Chevrolet. If you're looking to get into a new or used vehicle with affordable rates, we've got your back. Regardless of your financial situation, I can get you financed today. My lenders are making unheard of deals where others may have roadblocks. Text or call me at 248-453-6095. That's 248-453-6095. Come ride in style with the Queen, Regina, the Queen of Carlones, at Joe Lunghamer Chevrolet in Waterford.
Chevrolet, find new roads.
Looking to buy or sell your home? Whether you're relocating to Michigan from another state or another country, moving across town, upgrading, or downsizing, Brenda D. Davis from Century 21 Town and Country Real Estate is your locally known home purchase expert. Buying or selling your home is a complex process. Let Brenda simplify it every step of the way. Brenda D. Davis, the realtor that moves you. Call 248-909-9711 and get moving on your new home purchase or sale today. That's 248-909-9711. Call now.
We're back to Be in the Driver's Seat. I am your co-host, Dr. T, and who is the host?
Regina, the Queen of Carlones.
So good morning again, everyone. So Brenda Denise Davis, as we went to commercial and you were going to give us some tips. So let's talk about the squeeze.
Okay, so I was going to start telling you why we're having the squeeze. And part of it has to do with the job market. It's improving. And we're back to like 85% of the 21 million jobs that we lost due to the pandemic and the first month of the lockdown that we experienced. So we are recovering in many ways with regards to that. But then the second reason I mentioned earlier is because potential buyers are being squeezed out of the market. Some are finding that they have to reduce their maximum sales price, and others are just totally out of the market. You know, the interest rate has again effectively done what it wanted to do. Part of the reason for this also is because the median house sales price of existing homes has increased, and it's gone up like 25% from a year ago. The other thing is that higher end home sales have increased, and a lot of those home sales were cash. And it kind of surprises me sometimes where they're getting this money from, but they have it. You know, they're getting it from somewhere, but they definitely have it.
And their refrigerator.
Right. Get it out the freezer.
Under the mattress.
Right.
But you got it.
Yeah, they have it, and they're paying cash for homes, so they're no longer, in many cases, having to deal with a mortgage. But along with that, you know, you've heard me say many times that the inventory of homes that are available to sell has declined. We have a shortage of inventory, and that continues to be the case now. But overall, there's a shortage of houses. And the only way that we can hope to resolve this issue is that builders are going to have to build more homes. Investors are going to have to invest in dilapidated properties by renovating and improving them. But, you know, I've often thought that due to the pandemic, we're going to see a lot of corporate America shut down their operations because they're allowing people to work at home. And so that in and of itself is going to reduce the number or the need for office space. And so
but they're saving money though, right? They're saving money.
Well, they're saving money, but
Yeah.
you know, if you don't have people bodies occupying these spaces, then you don't need them any longer. So my thought has been, and I could be wrong, this is just a speculation, that some of the high-rise office buildings, they'll probably make those into condos. And some of the lower level, single level buildings, they may demolish those and start building homes in that space.
You know, Brenda, I understand what you're saying, because since the pandemic, we have seen a lot of even churches close down. We've seen a lot of places where, like, for instance, I know the guardianship agency, you know, we're working from home. So a lot of places do not need a big building anymore. So I can see them turning it into like a high-rise condo. So that's absolutely right. But I wanted to ask you a question when you were talking about the renters. You know, I noticed that some renters are requiring you to have 3 times the income of what the amount of the monthly, you know, lease is. So for instance, if it's $1,200, they're required that your income be at least $3,600 a month.
That's so true. Again, it's just a way of landlords being able to protect their interest in their investment. You know that when you move into a home or that you're renting, you're required to have a 1.5 month security deposit. Well, by law, the landlord cannot request any more than that for a security deposit. So they're protecting themselves in other ways. They want to make certain, or be as certain as they possibly can be, that you have enough money to pay your rent and other expenses, food, car notes, insurance, whatever else. And so that's why they're asking for that 2 to 3 times more, or a proof of 2 to 3 times income, to make certain that you're going to be able to pay your rent once you get in there. Because we all know that when you fall behind in your rent, investors have to go through a lot to get you evicted. Yeah. And then once that eviction occurs, sometimes they find that there's damage to the property, or it's not been taken care of properly. There are any number of things that could occur that landlords just have to try to protect themselves as best as they possibly can.
Yeah, that's unfortunate. We do see often that sometimes renters do tear up property, but for those that are taking care of properties, we salute you. And also, we hope that there's always a landlord that's going to rent, you know, to that person.
Yeah, but because actually the laws that are in effect, it's supposed to prohibit, or it does prohibit, discrimination for any number of reasons. Race, religion, marital status, whatever, you know, it goes on and on. There are some laws in effect that are supposed to protect against those discriminatory practices, but we all know that it still happens, and that's very unfortunate. But even though all of this exists, you know that the interest rates were extremely low in this past year or so, maybe almost 2 years. They've gone down to as low as 2.25%, 2.75%, and that really generated the activity in the housing market. But in the same token, and I've said it before, when we bought our first home, we paid 11%.
Yeah.
So even though interest rates are nearing or at that 7%, still better than it was. And I cannot emphasize enough the importance of becoming a homeowner. I've been talking to friends and a couple of relatives who are renting right now, and I'm just really trying to encourage them, just bite the bullet. When interest rates go down, refinance. You know, but during that time, you're earning equity in your home, and you're not just, you know, increasing the pockets of the investors
of the landlords,
who are That's right.
Of the landlords.
Really. So it's harder for renters, obviously, now because of the increase in interest rates, but there's still a way. So, you know, it's good to talk with a lender to see, you know, where you stand, what you might need to do. Cathy is a perfect person to contact to see what you need to do to get your credit scores better. But I want to tell you about something that I just learned about. Fannie Mae has now put a program in place where renters are able to have their monthly rent payments reflected on their credit scores. And that's huge, because that's going to give renters some advantage, because they'll be able to use those monthly payments, as long as they've been on time, as a tool to increase their their credit scores.
So you saying Fannie Mae said that?
Fannie Mae.
Fannie Mae didn't create that because that's been out there. Cathy can share a little bit more about that later.
Well, I just learned that. I didn't know about it.
That's been out there where people pay their rent and they can report.
Well, I knew that they were looking at your utilities. If you pay your utility bills, that can also help to increase your scores. But I didn't know that your rental payments could also be applied to that to help your scores.
Absolutely. We've seen people get 50 to 100-point increase as a result of this going through that process. Of course, everybody's different. Let me make sure that is clear. But it varies. Definitely you can see if you've had your rental history has been paid on time, you can see great improvement.
Well, that's good to know, Cathy, because as I said, it was new to me, so I'm not sure if the listeners today are aware or were aware, but it's nice that we have these kind of conversations to educate, the community as to what the possibilities are that will help them to become homeowners.
So, Brenda, what's one of your last points you want to leave with us today?
One of my last points, and it's going to always be, save your money, get your credit scores in order, become a homeowner. It's probably the most important thing that you can do for yourself and your families. You're investing in yourselves, you're investing in your future, and it's a move that you won't regret. And it may not be easy. You may have to kind of tighten that belt buckle a little bit and not spend on some of the extras, but you can do it. I have confidence and faith in you that you can do it, and I hope that you have that same confidence and faith in yourself that God is going to lead you and He's going to make your dreams come true. Ask and ye shall receive.
How can they reach you?
248-909-9711. Again, that's 248-909-9711. I'll look forward to hearing from you.
Brenda Denise Davis, the realtor who moves you, 248-909-9711, 248-909-9711. We'll be right back after we take a break, pay some bills, and we'll be right back with Cathy Washington, the financial life coach. She is sharing her tips, 3 ways to crush your finances. I'm ready to crush my finances. We'll be right back. Are you sinking farther and further in debt? Tired of living paycheck to paycheck? Facing garnishment, repossession, or foreclosure? Thinking of filing bankruptcy but still have questions? Call Lewis Law at 248-785-3780. Attorney Lewis has over 20 years of experience handling Chapter 7 and 13 bankruptcies. The bankruptcy code is complicated, and you need an experienced attorney to guide you through the process. We can take care of your bankruptcy and probate needs. Call Lewis & Law, 248-785-3780. We're a debt relief agency. We can help people file for bankruptcy under U.S. Bankruptcy Code. Paid non-attorney spokesperson.
Looking to buy or sell your home? Whether you're relocating to Michigan from another state or another country, moving across town, upgrading, or downsizing, Brenda D. Davis from Century 21 Town and Country Real Estate is your locally known home purchase expert. Buying or selling your home is a complex process. Let Brenda simplify it every step of the way. Brenda D. Davis, the realtor that moves you. Call 248-909-9711 and get moving on your new home purchase or sale today. That's 248-909-9711. Call now.
Regina, the Queen of Car Loans here with Joe Lunghamer Chevrolet. If you're looking to get into a new or used vehicle with affordable rates, we've got your back. Regardless of your financial situation, I can get you financed today. My lenders are making unheard of deals where others may have roadblocks. Text or call me at 248-453-6095. That's 248-453-6095. Come ride in style with the Queen. Regina, the Queen of Car Loans at Joe Lunghamer Chevrolet in Waterford.
Chevrolet, find new roads.
We're back, and we are talking with this morning Cathy Washington, our financial life coach, and we're going to be talking about 3 ways to crush your finances. What you got going on for us today?
Thank you so much, Regina. I'm so excited to be here with you all this morning, this beautiful Saturday morning. Listen, I just really want to talk a little bit about the state of Americans' personal and financial affairs as we kind of get into crushing our finances. Why is that important? We know that there's 84 million families in the U.S. and 10 million families live in poverty. 50 million families have no money saved. That just lets you know right there, we got to get a handle on this whole thing around finances and why it's important for us to crush our finances. We know that 40 million working families have no assets. 50% of Americans have less than a 720 credit score. It's time to get a grip.
It's time to get a grip.
That forward today.
It's time to get a grip.
Let's get it in order. And you know what's good about it is we can. That's the good news, right? And so the first way that I really want to tell people you got to crush these finances is you got to face your current situation. You got to face it. You got to look at it. You can't change a thing until you face it. And so I just really want to encourage people, and that's hard sometimes, for a lot of us to do. We see the bills coming in, we see, the phone calls coming in, and we don't want to deal with it. We don't want to address it. And so I just really want to encourage people, listen, you've got to face it. You've got to honestly evaluate your current financial situation. That's my first tip.
So, Cathy, I want to ask a question. So, first of all, let me say that these are staggering statistics that you gave us. That's staggering. 50 million Americans have no money saved. That is staggering. And then 40 million of working individuals have no assets. That is some staggering numbers. But I want to ask you this. You said the first thing we need to do is face our current situation. And many times people don't want to face because they feel like I'm doing all I can. I'm getting up. I'm going to work. I'm trying to do the best that I can. So what would you suggest to someone who is they doing everything that they know how to do, and all of their money they're spending it on the day-to-day things to live? What do you tell somebody? What do you do?
Wow. That is a direct lead into, taking a close look, Dr. T, at your budget. Let's look at your spending plan. I mean, it might be that it's tapped all the way out, right? You just have no wiggle room whatsoever. We talk about adjusting that budget, or that spending plan, as I like to call it, which is really just a written, workable plan for saving and spending. We need to know what monies are coming in, what monies are going out of your life. And so what we want to do, if you're thinking, I've done everything that I possibly can do, I would challenge you to take a look at where the money is going. The money probably is going to some places that you could probably tap a little bit. I think Brenda said earlier, tighten that belt buckle, right? Mm-hmm. How can I really get a handle on this? Because we gotta get a grip. We can't just let it continue to go and be out of control. And even though you're doing everything, you working hard, let's make your hard work for you. And so I would just say one key element to that is let's take a look at the spending plan. Let's see where that money is going, the money that's coming in and the money that's going out. A lot of people might be saying, listen, all right, that's good, Cathy, but I have more month than I have money. Now, that's a different issue. We need to kind of address that with how do we figure out how to bring you in some more income so that you can address the situation.
Well, Cathy, you said a mouthful, because sometimes we feel like we are, working with the bare minimum, but we have to think about if we have cable, for instance. There's some things that I've learned that you don't need every channel. Right?
That's
so
right.
when you talk about taking a look at where your money is going, do you need every channel that's on cable? Do you need especially now with streaming?
I was going to say, do you need a streaming service because it's cheaper?
Absolutely.
It's exactly cheaper. You're so right. And then there are memberships, Dr. T and Regina, that's out there. People are still paying for sometimes gym memberships they've had for, eons.
Wait a minute, don't step on no feet, Cathy. Wait, they paying for a membership but ain't going.
And not using it.
Wait, don't step on nobody's feet, Cathy.
Oh my God, but it's true. And then there are other things that perhaps, you can look at. You can look at your insurance and say, hey, am I paying the right amount of insurance? Where, is there some cheaper insurance out there where I won't sacrifice my coverage? Taking a closer look at everything you're spending. Let's look at those let's look at those cell phone bills. Come on, let's look at what makes
let's look at them.
you. Let's look at it. Let's face it, right? Let's look at it and say, hey, what makes sense for me and my family in this season of my life? Because it could just be, I believe that we all are, we live in seasons. You know, our lives things kind of happen, you know, in seasons for us. So it could be that this is a season where I've got to really tighten the grip, right? I got to if I'm going to get into that home that you heard Brenda talking about earlier, I've got to really get a handle on these finances, and I got to crush it, right? I got to deal with it, face it. I got to address that spending plan, and I'm getting excited for some reason. I guess, you know, the reason I'm so passionate about this is because I've lived through it. I've lived through having challenges where you can't figure out how to get up from one day to the next day, having gone through that divorce, losing everything, and trying to figure out how to come back from that. So I just want to encourage people today. You can absolutely crush it. You got to first face it, and you got to address that money. Where is it going? Coming in and out of your house. How are you spending it? And let's get some discipline around that.
Well, one of the things you mentioned is we may need to talk about getting more income. And I know that it's
passive.
Passive income. I see, you know, now we're coming up on the holiday season. You know, if you're already having some financial difficulties and you need a little stretch money, share with us, like, is it okay should we be looking at additional income? You know, I think.
Absolutely.
Wow, let's talk about that, Cathy.
Yes, absolutely. I would encourage you. You got some, you know, just room in your life, and you can, you know, pick up some. Even from an entrepreneurial perspective, right? There are all kinds of ways to earn some passive income, residual income. There's ways. People sometimes, you know, this is a season where you have companies that look for, you know, additional help because they have, you know, they need help during this holiday season. We're about to go into the last quarter of the year. In fact, we are. This is the last quarter of the year. And so with that being said, there are oftentimes companies who are looking for people. We're looking for entrepreneurs, people that are looking to work from home and earn some additional income. Definitely, you can leverage all of those and think about the talents and the skills that you have. It could be that you have something. You've always made shirts, or you've always, you know, been able to help people navigate through a problem. That's a talent and a skill that you should put to work for yourself so you can earn some extra income. We can help you with that too.
You know what? It's funny that it's funny that you say about extra income, because let's talk about that. How can you help someone if they want to earn extra income? Can you explain a little bit? Can you expound on that a little bit?
Sure, absolutely. There are people, we're always, with my company, we're always looking for individuals who are looking to earn some extra income, just learning about finances and understanding, just really sharing the information with other people. We can show you how to do that. But it's very practical for you to stop and say, you know, what can I do and what am I good at? You know, what can I get paid for? What are the things that people tell you all the time? You're really good at that. You might be looking at, maybe, starting a business, and we can certainly help you kind of get started on that track as well.
That's good. Cathy, since 2020, we've seen a lot of changes, and there's a lot of positions you can work right from your home. There's positions that you can, that are flexible and allow you to work from home. So that money is there. But what would you tell someone who, doesn't have a whole lot of time, but they need to make sure that their finances is together, and they need to make sure that, they are staying on top of their bills? What do you tell a person that has more bills than they have money? What do you tell them? Again,
taking a closer look, Dr. T, at what you have to offer.
Mm-hmm.
It just reminds me, and I know we're on the Praise Network, so it's okay for me to go to the Word. When I think about, the woman in 2 Kings 4, and you all can read that at your leisure. But when I think about that woman who had her husband had died, and she was in a place, Dr. T, where literally the creditors were coming for her son. And that's a real life situation for some people here, maybe even listening this morning, that might be saying, you know what, I don't know how I'm going to make ends come together. We about to lose the roof that's over our head, and I don't know, what I need to do. And this woman in the Bible literally went to the man of God and said, what can I do? And so that will help those listeners out there kind of equate. How do I go find help? Look, ask an expert. Talk to me. I'm happy to help you. But listen, you need to figure out what you have in your house. What do you have that can help you turn your life around? Be the one that makes a decision that says, you know what, I'm not going to sit here and allow this to continue to be my demise. I'm going to get up and I'm going to participate in my own change, my own rescue. I'm going to participate in it because I can.
You know what? That's good. And also, I like how you talked about this woman, because when she got the instruction from the man of God, she followed the instruction. And so I think that's important. It's one thing for us to be on here sharing information, but it's another thing for you to grab the information and follow it. So oftentimes we give information, but people don't follow it. So tell the people.
So true.
Tell the people.
So true.
Yeah, Cathy, tell the people how important it is to follow this information and how they can even locate you to get more information.
Absolutely. Information is powerful, but applied knowledge is even more powerful, because now you're taking what you're gaining and you've learned and you're putting it to work for you. You're putting it, you're being, you're being actionable. Yeah, you're actually doing the work. You're doing what's necessary in order to win. And remember, this is your family. Right? You are an advocate for your own family. So we just want to encourage you today. You can certainly reach out to me. I'm at 1-800-988-9184, 1-800-988-9184. I just want you to know today that there is hope. And you don't have to allow yourself to get into a stupor and say, I just can't come out of this. You can absolutely come out of it. You got to face it. You got to figure out what's going on with that money. Is it what's coming in and what's going out? And then finally, I would just say, let's go ahead and just attack that debt. Let's make sure we tackle your debt. And we can do that too with some programs that I have.
Cathy, how can they reach you?
Again, the number is 1-800-988-9184. 1-800-988-9184. And you can always hit me up on my website at CathyWashington.com. That's Cathy with a C, CathyWashington.com. And we'll be happy to help. We have a free consultation. You can give us a call. We'll be glad to help you.
All right, you heard it as you hear it every second Saturday, every month. Cathy Washington, financial life coach. She brings it to you all the way from Atlanta, Georgia, and she can help you in any state. We'll be right back.
Do you desire to know God on a deeper level? Do you need to see signs, miracles, and wonders in your life? Do you want to grow your faith so you can overcome adversity and have a breathtaking future? Yes? Then you must attend the Glory Realm Miracle Encounter, happening in Tampa, Florida, October 20th through 23rd. It will be 4 epic days of refreshing, restoration, and rejoicing. Go to www.wellofworship.com for additional details and to grab your seat today.
Regina, the Queen of Car Loans here with Joe Lunghamer Chevrolet. If you're looking to get into a new or used vehicle with affordable rates, we've got your back. Regardless of your financial situation, I can get you financed today. My lenders are making unheard of deals where others may have roadblocks. Text or call me at 248-453-6095. That's 248-453-6095. Come ride in style with the Queen, Regina, the Queen of Car Loans at Joe Lunghamer Chevrolet in Waterford.
Chevrolet, find new roads.
We're back, and you're still listening to Be in the Driver's Seat, but we have a new segment that we are bringing to the forefront. We know every week we share a little bit about sales, about car sales, but today we're going to talk to a seasoned professional, a service advisor that's been in the business for 30 years at Joe Lunghamer Chevrolet. And I believe out of those 30 years, he's probably been knowing me probably at least 10 or 12 years out of those 30 years. He is my right-hand man at the dealership when something happens, when you have the introduction, when you buy that car from me or you lease that car from me. I'm either giving you a business card to Steve Winkler, or I'm walking you down to meet a service advisor, because what's important after the sale, after you buy at least that brand new car or that used car, is the service advisor. That person should be your friend. But introducing to some and introducing to most, Steve Winkler, service advisor at Joe Lunghamer Chevrolet, located at 475 Summit Drive in Waterford, Michigan. Zip code is 48328. And that is the home of Regina, the queen of car loans. Steve, what you got going on this morning? How you doing? Welcome to our show.
Happy Monday, everybody. Glad to be here.
Good morning, Steve.
Y'all good. Good.
We're good. So we're gonna bring that this. I want to call this a special segment, because I know a couple shows ago we had the man himself, the president of the Joe Lunghamer Group, on the show, the president of Joe Lunghamer, and we talked to him. But today we're gonna get that other part of the dealership, the service side. And I know that Steve's going to be talking about the retail experience. So Steve, what are you sharing with us on the retail experience at the dealership?
I just feel a lot of times you go to places anymore and you find that the retail employees, many of them are lost. Many of them aren't empathizing with their guests. They're hearing what they're saying and not listening.
So that's funny that you say that. So you're saying that the service advisor, customer comes in and they're talking to the service advisor, and you guys are not listening? I put you in that group because you're a service advisor. So is that what you mean?
We are listening. No, I say we are. I feel that we are listening. I mean, everyone hears a person, but they're not always listening. They're looking straight through them. Mm-hmm. They're not paying attention. They're too busy thinking about their personal lives or what they're going to do after work or what have you.
So, Steve, as a customer, because I'm a customer and I come to Joe Lunghamer Chevrolet. So when I come and if there's something going on with my vehicle, most of the time I'm thinking about what's going on. So when I come into the service department, I'm already in a place, right? And so if I'm requiring some work to be done and I don't absolutely know what it is, are you saying that we don't have the experience, so we need some help? I mean, so help me out there. Because
not the customer, the person that's taking care of you, the person that's doing my job, whether it be at the dealership, at the hardware store, or at McDonald's.
Okay, so if I don't come to you and it's a new person, maybe they don't know what they're. Okay, so the experience there. So help us out there. What is something that you could a tip that you could tell a person that's in retail that's, what is something that they could do to better help service the customer?
Just listen, not just listening to the customer, but feeling them, empathizing with them, getting in their shoes for a moment. Greeting them with a smile. I mean, today's experiences, anywhere you go, and I can say from my personal experience, going into any place that's a retail business, you're walking in and you have less and less people that are actually willing to help or listen. You want a side of this and they give you a side of that. Always listen to your guests. As a society, we need to do with that all together, unity. More with today's technology, lack of face-to-face communication. COVID's made it worse. I mean, you can order anything online, go and pick it up. It's already ready. You don't have to communicate with that employee or communicate with that customer. You got kiosks at certain fast food chains that they don't even want to help you. They go there. You got self-checkouts. The whole customer experience is going wayward. And I feel here at the Joe that we really go further than that. We actually want to hear our customers, listen to our customers. They're not going to be in here if they don't feel that there's something truly wrong with their car. They're not going to waste their time.
That's good.
Well, the great thing I love about what I've seen in the business, especially at Joe Lunghamer, you have people that, they may buy cars at other dealerships, outside the area that they live. They may buy closer to their job, but they come to the service department to get their service. Mm-hmm. That's why I say it's always important after the sale. The one thing, if anything, that a person should look at is that get to know your service advisor. Mm-hmm. Get to know them, form that relationship. And the one thing I pride myself well, you pride yourself with. I know I pride myself with. That's why I send my customers to you, because you may have a long laundry list of things that you need to get done on your vehicle. But what do, Steve? Do you point out the things that they necessarily need to get done first, or you just say, oh yeah, you need to get everything done?
No, you always got to prioritize everything. You can't just assume that everyone has the financial backing to fix everything at once. If you can't prioritize it, I mean, what's important? What needs to be done now? What can be put off? What can I do in 6 months from now? People need to budget, especially this day and age. It's not getting easier.
That's good. So, Steve, you have been in the business for 30 years. What has sustained you in these 30 years?
I have a lot of regulars and a lot of people that continue to come back to me repeatedly over and over, and I've had guests that actually follow me. Many of them have, like Regina, many of them have my cell phone number. Do I want that phone call on Sunday night at 9 o'clock? No, but you know what? I'm not going to not answer it. I'm there to assist them, whether it's on a Saturday or a Sunday. I definitely feel that, we need to go above and beyond to get everything accomplished like we need to. And sometimes if it's talking to somebody outside of the work hours to make sure that they feel comfortable getting in, or give them that peace of mind, should I not drive my vehicle the way it is right now?
That's good. So you make yourself accessible. I appreciate that. I've been to other dealerships and I've tried to reach my salesperson and they were not available to me, and that's frustrating.
Because they're busy.
I understand that they're busy, but even if you're busy, it's okay to say I'm busy, but return a phone call. So I love Joe Lunghamer because I know I can walk in and be serviced, and so that's important to a customer that you're accessible. So that sets you apart from the rest.
What really sets them apart from the rest, too, is a cell phone. You know what I mean? And when even though things are wrong with your vehicle, you want to know that someone cares. And if you don't act like you sympathize with that customer, then they're not going to come back.
Yeah.
They're going to find another place. And the one thing I would say about a dealership, and I always, when you go to a dealership, if something's wrong with your car, you're going back to the place that is going to be there tomorrow. It's going to be there next week. Now, sometimes people pass. They die. Everybody got to die at one time, right? Sometime. But we don't know when our number or our car is going to be pulled, right? But the building is going to be there. Someone's going to be there, And that's what, if something goes wrong and you need to go back and point the finger, or you need to question your service advisor, that your service advisor is giving you the best advice. And that's one thing I can always count on Steve. I know he's giving the customer the best advice. He's not going to, he gives me the great service. He's going to give my customer the great service.
Yeah, that's good. So, Steve, what is one thing that you would want your customers to know about before they even come into the dealership?
Well, basically that I will sympathize with them when they come in here. And, like we were talking earlier, I definitely always prioritize, follow up whether that vehicle's been serviced or not. If that customer's calling you and asking what's going on with your vehicle, they're not doing the job. You got to call them before I go to lunch every day. I call all my guests, let them know I have your car being looked at. No, I haven't had your car looked at. I'll be looking at it by 3 o'clock. Last thing I do is come back from lunch and have 5 messages on my answer machine. If you have to call me to see what's wrong with your car, then I'm not doing my job right. Because if I call you first, it saves you time, it saves you energy, and gives you the peace of mind that I'm on top of things.
What if I'm not getting the answer that I want? If I'm a customer and I'm coming in to have a service and the service is a little bit more expensive, or I'm not getting the answer that I want, what would you do for me?
Well, different situations are different. I mean, whether it be comparing your vehicle to another vehicle on the used car lot or the new car lot, whether it be a noise that might be normal, test drive the vehicle with the customer, especially if it's a rattle, a click, or a clunk, or a moan, or a groan. Because once it goes into that technician, if he doesn't hear it, then you're not going to be satisfied. If I drive that car with you and we don't hear it and my technician doesn't hear it, it's going to be easier acceptable that we did everything we could to possibly address that concern at that time, and perhaps it wasn't happening that day. You could either leave it overnight, or we could continue to monitor it and see if that condition worsens over time, or if it gets more relevant to address it at a later date.
So I think that's key, and I think that what people need to do is when you hear something on your car, you need to go deal with it. You don't need to just go ahead and sweep it under the rug. And that may mean that you need to move your funds around, you need to do some different things. Well, be that. You know why you want to do that? When I say be that, do that, be that, do that, it's because you don't want to let that go, because you might not hear it next week. You might hear it once. If you hear it twice, you need to make a phone call. But let me just say this. If you guys are looking to get your car serviced, whether it's an oil change, your brakes, or just warranty work or non-warranty work, Steve Winkler is available for you. Steve Winkler is available for you to help you at Joe Lunghamer Chevrolet. What's the service hours at Joe Lunghamer, Steve?
We are open Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m.
And what's your desk number?
My direct line is going to be 248-292-2464.
Can you give it to us one more time?
248-292-2464. That goes directly to my desk.
And we appreciate you taking time out your busy schedule today, this Saturday morning, because Joe Lunghamer Service Department is closed on Saturday. And just remember, those were service hours and not sales hours. But if you are looking and you need to get your car serviced, Steve is your man, and he will take care of you. And thank you for joining us on your first segment with us, Steve. We really appreciate it.
Yeah, that was awesome. Thanks for your time, guys. You have a great day.
All right, you too. Take care. Thank you.
Bye-bye. Bye.
And we're going to go right back with Joe Lunghamer. Just called again. He texted. He said, Regina, you need to go to a break, and you guys need to pay some bills because I need to hear my commercial. And just guess what? Coming soon, we're going to have our own service commercial at Joe Lunghamer Chevrolet. All right, we'll be right back. Regina, the Queen of Car Loans here with Joe Lunghamer Chevrolet. If you're looking to get into a new or used vehicle with affordable rates, we've got your back. Regardless of your financial situation, I can get you financed today. My lenders are making unheard of deals where others may have roadblocks. Text or call me at 248-453-6095. That's 248-453-6095. Come ride in style with the Queen, Regina, the Queen of Car Loans, at Joe Lunghamer Chevrolet in Waterford.
Chevrolet, find new roads.
Looking to buy or sell your home? Whether you're relocating to Michigan from another state or another country, moving across town, upgrading, or downsizing, Brenda D. Davis from Century 21 Town and Country Real Estate is your locally known home purchase expert. Buying or selling your home is a complex process. Let Brenda simplify it every step of the way. Brenda D. Davis, the realtor that moves you. Call 248-909-9711 and get moving on your new home purchase or sale today. That's 248-909-9711. Call now.
Hey, we're going to come back. We're back, but I want to talk about real quick avoiding repossession. How do you avoid repossession? One is, I hope you got your pen and paper. One is, if you know that you lose an income or things are changing, you're not going to be able to make your payment, call your lender and say, you know what, I have some difficulties coming up. I need to put 2 payments on the back, even before it comes up. I need to put 2 payments on the back. Or can you put 2 payments on the back? Maybe you're 1 payment behind and you thought you're going to have it. Can you put 2 payments on the back? Another way you can do is you can refinance. That's your second point. Try to refinance before you get into that issue if you can. It's going to depend on, your loan to value in your car, what you owe in your car, and then your credit also. So that's key. The third thing, how do you avoid repossession, is really what I don't like to share. If you have equity in your car, is maybe you need to file Chapter 13 if you want to keep your car. And that we have an attorney that can help you out with that too. I don't like to tell people to file bankruptcy, but if you want to keep that car, that's what you may need to do, But I just wanted to put those 3 points out there. Focus on the first 2 first, and go from there. And I hope you have your pen and paper ready. And if you missed this show on Saturday, just go ahead and go to beinthedriverseat.com. And you know what? Listen to our podcast 2 days after the show. But we're going to go ahead and segue right into Dr. T.
So good morning, everybody. Again, I'm super excited to talk about our Sweetest Day giveaway. Listen, you have until October the 15th to go to beinthedriverseat.com and to register to win. That is 2 tickets, and you're going to get a beverage and popcorn. We're so excited. So please take advantage of that. And then in November, we have the unsung hero. You can go to beinthedriverseat@gmail.com and nominate your unsung hero. We need you to give their name and their phone number, and you need to tell us why you are nominating them. You have until November the 12th to do that. Again, beinthedriverseat@gmail.com. And in December, we are so excited to announce that we are partnering with Joe Lunghamer, and we are adopting 2 families families and some seniors. So we'll be back and give you more information about that. But stay tuned for our December giveaway. So again, go to beinthedriverseat.com and be sure to register to win your free tickets and also to subscribe. We're looking forward to you. We appreciate you all. And guess what, Regina?
Get what?
Listen, I'm super excited because the unsung heroes, there's so many people that are doing great things in the community and they need to be celebrated.
Super excited about the partnerships that we're formed, and we partnered with Pontiac Meals on Wheels to actually adopt 2 seniors, maybe 3 seniors. So we're super excited to bring you more information about that. Stay tuned because we'll be advertising that on other platforms. Thank you for listening to Be in the Driver's Seat. I am Regina Eileen Woodard, the Queen of Car Loans, and who?
Dr. T, everybody. Have a super Saturday.
Super Saturday and a great week.
You've been listening to Be in the Driver's Seat with Regina, the Queen of Car Loans, and mental health expert, Dr. Teresa Moore.
Brought to you by Joe Lunghamer Chevrolet of Waterford.
Be in the Driver's Seat, a Saturday morning mix of cars, credit, and wellness created just for you. From Regina, the Queen of Car Loans, and Dr. Teresa Moore, thank you for listening.